Yeah, it should have been first talk, but latest talk, right? So latest is the best because we have some demo enhanced during the last 1 hour. So you'll be at least worth waiting for the last thing, okay? So, and I would like to start with thanking Atul because it's been more than 4 months I was trying to get a speaker session in CNCF Hyderabad, and now you see how difficult it is to get into CNC Hyderabad because you guys are the cool engineers, and getting into here you have to prove yourself. So I have to prove myself for 4 months for Atul to give the session, okay? No, I'm just saying good things, right? Because I was presented in CNCF Pune and other communities, but this was close to me because I'm from Hyderabad. I wanted to present to this group because I heard about a lot about this group, and I was part of CNCF Hyderabad 10th batch, right? So that being said, we have a little time and closing to lunch, right? So let's do this, okay? And this is how I generally do my conversations because this is first time we are meeting. Just want to know the pulse of the audience. So take out your mobiles. I need a small survey to be taken. You can scan that. So this is a small Mentimeter survey. So the answers you give here is related to the demo and the conversation. So it will help me to go faster, deeper, or like pace myself. Thirty-four join. How much is the attendance today? 60? How many are there? 60? 70? Okay. So at least we'll wait for 50 to join and then I'll share my screen. And this is no right or wrong answer questions. This is like understanding questions. So there is nothing hesitant to share your opinions. 9 more, then we'll kickstart this. Was everybody able to scan, or do you want me to flash the scan again? Okay. 44. Maybe we'll go for 45. One last, whoever joins, then go back scan. Cool. Okay. 47 joined. This is good. Okay. So let's go to the first thing I would like. Okay. People are already keying in. This is good. So as this is a conversation about OpenTelemetry, Grafana, and me being an SRE, obviously I just want to understand how much this group knows about observability or what is observability for you guys, right? Right. So most prominent answer I could get is visualization is observability, uptime is observability, knowing what happened inside, okay, golden signals, good. Let me move to the next question. Name monitoring tools you are aware of. Prometheus, Grafana, Datadog. That's it, I don't see any new. So there are 3 or 4. There are a lot many in the market. Dynatrace. Anything for tracing? Anybody know any tracing monitorings? And metrics also, there are a lot many things other than Prometheus. Eager, Loki. I'll just wait for 2 more responses and then move on to the next question, okay? Okay. So this one is kind of, I want to understand, people call social skills, personal skills, community skills, but with AI in the space, there is something else, skills also prominent, right? Being a kachori seller. I don't know, yeah, that would be a literally good skill because AI will not replace you, because, right? prompt engineering, context engineering. Okay. 2 more responses, we'll move on to the next question. Okay, this one I just want to understand because I'm not sure how many worked on OpenTelemetry, but want to understand what do you think if you have not worked, if you have worked from your experience, like how much time do you think to set up an OpenTelemetry instrumentation with an assumption that all the infrastructure backend is already there. So I'm talking about OpenTelemetry instrumentation on the applications. And we will see it in action in the demo. So definitely it's not one day because we don't have that much time. It's not 1 hour also. So definitely less than 30 minutes, something, right? Less than 5 minutes. Somebody catch the hint, maybe. But it's faster than that actually. Let's see. Okay. Okay, this one I want to understand because of to ground ourselves how much we are able to explore, being the intent is there, but are the monitoring tools in the market, are they allowing us to explore, or the infrastructure or the setup you have, right? So somebody said 1 year, 2 years. I think with the AI in the space, if you say 1 year, 2 years, I think they'll say work from home for good. So nowadays, managers and leaders are sending out a EOD mail and say that tomorrow morning I want to see this new tool, right? So yeah, one more response will go. I think this is the last question. So how much time would you really want to spend switching to a new monitoring tool? Again, in the context of current AI being the enabler or catalyst, and right, even managers know how much time it takes or what it is, right? So earlier, whatever we say, they used to believe us, right? So now within a second is a too much of a expectation that believing that your wife will love you forever kind of thing, right? No time switch. Yeah. No time switch is that Instagram real versus real kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So that helps me to understand like what this group is aware, right? So that when we discuss about the slides, we'll go a little deeper or scan it fast, okay? That being said, I'll give a quick intro. So I'm Vinay Gattu with 20 plus IT experience. I'm working as a senior principal SRE, director SRE, leading the observability and SRE space at Optum, which is a Fortune 3 company. And I do this speaker sessions, community giving, and conversations, right? And I've been a free consultant for many of the startup companies on their SRE products, okay? So you might have seen already the title of our session, right? So blind to boundless. So and definitely we need something to showcase. So, and today is a Saturday, being a weekend. So most of the times, what we used to do, I don't know this group, but at our young age or when we don't have this OTT or AI, right? The Saturday or a weekend used to be waiting for some special meal from mom, maybe a chicken biryani or a mutton biryani, something, right? So that's something like that, right? So that's why my demo today, because being a Saturday weekend, it just I want to remember the kitchen and the food thing. So my all demo will be around biryani, tea, and the kitchen and the restaurant kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to deep dive on this, but I just want to surface on this because whatever the demo is there, you need to understand why I have chosen that or why we are trying to do that in that fashion, right? So How many of you know agentic skills? How many know prompts, MCP servers, right? So do you think all of them is kind of a replacement for one another, or all of them are needed? How many of you think all are needed? Everything. Okay. So I'll quickly go through this, and the next slide will also help you to understand in a simpler language what is what and why we need everything, kind of, right? So it started all with when chat prompts came, right? The prompts, prompt engineering. Then a lot of workflows instructions came, which is nothing but a plain English, what to do. That's it. When you open a VS Code, Copilot Chat, or Anti-Gravity, or Cloud Code, so you used to feed in that prompt, and just it follows the instructions, right? Later came the commands or tools, right? So that's kind of a one step ahead. In the prompt, it was monotonic, right? All of the IDE, the chat session used to use that. So there is no diversification. I mean, if one project needs one prompt, other project needs other prompts, I have to change the prompts, right? Then the tools was helping, right? And the later the MCP servers came. Now MCP servers has its own advantages, right? Because what prompt was giving is known things, but it was not giving a live, real-time things. Let's suppose you have a application where you have to connect to a weather app or some real-time data and use that by LLM in the chat, right? So MCP servers was doing that capability gap, misgap, right? Then the agentic skills came. But the funny part about agentic skills is it doesn't do anything. It will use all of the earlier ones, right? So agentic skill is kind of a combo, right, of using a prompts, using the workflows, using the MCPs inside that. So it is kind of an intelligent prompt which will use everything. So we'll see that in action, okay? So just as I said, the kitchen analogy or the restaurant analogy, if you see, so the prompts are nothing but standard instructions. If you see any of the restaurant, right, they have their daily menu, right? Idli, sambar, vada, so that's a standard menu, right? So think that as a prompts, no brainer. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, right? They are doing every day, right? Now, when you want to, if you will also see in the restaurants like today's special something, right? Right? That is nothing but agentic skills. So today's special is something, the recipe, right? Again, it's a prompt, but that might use a different combination and different methodology and different ingredients and different kitchenware tools kind of thing, right? Now, the kitchenware or the ingredients, that is called MCP server. So prompts is straightforward. MCP is like adding the additional value information. Agentic skills is using all them and making a better out of that, right? So now I said agentic skills use everything, and it uses plain English, script files, everything, right? Now why agentic skills has to be used, right? If it's already been just using whatever is already there, right? So I can also create a shell script and just run it. It's also an automation, right? But if you see the image, right, I don't want to drill down, but majorly what happens is when you run a shell script, it just executes. It doesn't know much whether the environment is ready to execute the script. If it fails, what it should do. It doesn't have that intelligent. It is a blind, the ideal case scenario, the shell script will run. The agent skills will enhance the script. It will run it, and if it will fail, the agent skill will also correct the scripts and run it again. So that's the intelligent. And also, when you run a script, unless you have written some output or echo statements in your script, you don't know what is happening, right? But agent skills, because they're AI agentic in nature, they use the LLM and they convert into a human readable output and help us. And we'll see exactly this in the demo, how helpful it is whenever we are using agentic skills, okay? And then OpenTelemetry is, I think most of you already know why OpenTelemetry came into existence, right? So most of you said like moving to a new monitoring tools was a challenge. It takes time or like this. So OpenTelemetry was one that's such standardization which helped many of the SRE DevOps to explore more tools and integrate and battle test them, which one will work for them, right? So because if you see, OpenTelemetry doesn't need to be, OpenTelemetry instrumentation, you need not to do any application changes, or you need not to build your application again and again. Those are not needed, because the instrumentation happens beyond that at an OS level or on a continuation level. Okay. So this is a demo what we are going to see. In this demo, I just created 3 application services, which is called, because now this is kind of a restaurant demo I picked up. So it will have an order service, right? And the order service will only take biryani and chai for today, right? So, and I'll be using anti-gravity, Google's anti-gravity as a IDE, where we'll give the chat prompts and agentic skills are triggered, right? The OpenTelemetry is that our kitchen staff which takes the orders, right, and also gives the visibility of what is happening. See, you have a restaurant where n number of biryanis, n number of chai is ordered, but you don't know how many are ordered. Is that what you need, right? So a restaurant needs how many are ordered, what is happening. If somebody is coming and ordering today, I don't have a paneer biryani, he is ordering paneer biryani, then I should know, right, whether waiter is taking the correct orders or not, right? Again, on the right side, if you see, in this demo, I am trying to elevate the OpenTelemetry's advantage. The biggest advantage of OpenTelemetry is connecting various backends, right? So I can just connect to, so we'll start with the initial demo where it will connect to a Victoria Metrics. Anybody know Victoria Metrics? Yeah, Victoria Metrics is an alternative to Prometheus. It's a metrics thing. And Eager is a tracing thing, like a tempo. So we'll start with Eager and Victoria Metrics, and then we'll see how easy it is to switch to Tempo, Prometheus and Loki, right? Within less than a minute, we'll switch to that, right? And the metrics, everything will flow, and we need not to do anything with the application or a application Docker image or anything, okay? So, as I said, I'll just skip this slide. So without an observability monitoring, it's a, in this era, right, it's a useless app for me, because we don't know the value, how much it is creating, we don't know the business, what it is doing. So we need to have some kind of an observability. So this is what we will do, adding the masala, we'll add the OpenTelemetry and get the insights out of that. And this, so we need to also replicate a rush or peak hour, right? So unless until I know, because 1 order, 2 orders, I will not be able to trace it. So let's create some load testing and see on the Grafana or UI that load is being getting inserted or not, okay? And for load testing, I'm using K6. K6 is a cloud native load testing tool. And this is what we will do, right? We'll start with Eager and Victometrics, and we'll watch it, and then we'll switch it to the new monitoring instrumentation. Okay. Hopefully it will work, because it was, so I was working till 3:30 in the morning, and then again it got stuck. Okay. So let me, I'll show you the, so these 3 services, order service, biryani service, or chai service, they are running on Kubernetes, okay, on a K3D cluster. So I have made this all project files, demo files, including my PPT, everything available for you guys. So you need not to take any screenshots, anything, everything will be shared. So just focus on the demo and help me understand what you understand from the demo, okay? So let's see, first of all, whether our application is running or not, right? Okay, the 3 services, the 3 pods or the deployments are running, okay? Now what we will do is, this is the plain without any instrumentation, just to show that load test is taken by this only. It is not a made up hard coded values. I just want to show that first. So what we will do is, we will go into order service logs and tail it, then I will do the load test. We'll see the load. right? This is a small Python application exposing an API. So there are no logs because I did not run anything. So let's create some load. So the load test, I created a local and K6 because if you are testing on your laptops, you need not to host it on K6 also. You can just test it on your local without any Kubernetes also. So now I'll just do the Kubernetes one because it is hosted there. And I have a 2 load tests planned for this so that to show you, right? I'll run the second one, which will be a request with some errors, like somebody is asking coffee, somebody is asking pasta, because I said like I'm a biryani and chai, and today's menu is only chicken, veg, and Irani chai. That's it. If somebody asks anything else, they should get 404 or a 500. I'm a vegetarian, by the way. Okay, so I'll show you the logs also. So if you see the logs, there are some, I'm not sure if you are making, so there are 200s, there are 404s, there are 500s also, right? I'll try to explain that. Maybe let me kill the thing so that it doesn't run. Yeah, if you see this 200, right, it is asking for mutton biryani, which is available. That's why it said 200. Okay. If you see 404, because it is asking paneer. Okay. Or black tea. Maybe this is black tea. So I don't have black tea. So where is 500 again? 500 is something completely different. They're asking pizza, not even a biryani flavor or a chai flavor. Right. So that's how I just mimicked a real-time scenario where we get 404s or 500s also, right? So now you see we have run the load test. Pod is taking, so this is a real application. We will instrument this. Okay, I'll show. I want to also show that so the eager is not getting any traffic actually. You want to show, right? You don't see anything because we did not instrument it. I just want to show you before I instrument. So the first set of instrumentation was eager for traces and Victoria metrics, right? Victoria metrics also not showing anything. Now we'll instrument, okay? Before instrumenting, we'll stop the traffic because anyway, the traffic which was triggered before instrumentation will not come, right? So this is the focus on this, what I'm doing. For instrumentation, I'm not running any script, anything. So I have the agent skills created for this already. Now I just can say this. Maybe. What I can say, hey, can you apply OTel instrumentation and apply initial OTel instrumentation config? Did not pick it. Hey, can you apply OTel instrumentation config and apply the initial OTel instrumentation config? Okay. Initial, not hotel, it is OTel. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully it should work. So if you see the first response from this, a skill is been identified, right? Okay. How much time it took to apply the OTel instrumentation? Less than a minute, right? We'll just check that whether it is applied or not, because our pods will be restarted. The application is not redeployed, Docker image is not, because we are instrumenting on the Kubernetes container level. The container will get an injected instrumentation. We'll see that whether it is done or not. Can you see this? There is an annotation, instrumentation annotation being applied on this. Okay. Now, if I run the load, ideally we should see on the eager and Victoria metrics some kind of traffic what we are generating. Just again same script, right? So I'm not changing anything for OTel information, just mimicking the same load. I will just give 1 minute because what I saw is it just takes some time to reflect on the, because it sends to the OTel collector sends to the backend eager and Victoria metrics. So meanwhile that is running. Any questions? Anything?
So the OTel collector is configured to send it to both backends?
Yes. That's where the OTel, so all the applications will send it to OTel collector, and OTel collector decides where it has to send. And I can show you that configuration meanwhile, maybe that will be helpful. So if you see this, this is the configuration we applied now. So wherein we are saying send it to Victoria metrics, send it to Eager. Okay?
The deployment side we added annotation. So
Which one?
we added an annotation to
Correct.
inject. So after adding annotation, does it inject any init container?
Yeah, init content, yes. Yeah.
So without application register, it's going to
Correct.
add an init container.
Correct. So no, it will do in pod redeploy because init container is part of the pod, right? So it will do a rollout restart of the application pod. So injecting that init container.
So do we have an operator which is taking
Yeah, yeah. So here, that is what, right? There are two ways you can do. This is a zero touch kind of thing wherein your application is not disturbed. Wherein OTel is instrumented via operator, so that it looks for any new pod coming up and it sees that init annotation, then injects the init container so that it starts instrumentation. Okay? So actually the command was earlier I did not say to apply the OTel installation. I just said apply the initial config. So this is an initial, the OTel collector also has to be restarted because we are giving a new configuration.
So from an AI perspective, you just need to apply those controls.
That's it, yeah. The reason we are choosing AI skills here over regular scripting is like all of the workforce these days are junior developers, right? Have an average of 3 to 5, right? So now giving this power of AI to them, they can implement all of the CNCF standards or OpenTelemetry standards very quickly and explore the tools. Okay? Yeah, it restarted now actually. Earlier it did not restart. So let's give the load now. Can you see that? Right? You see the time 12:35 just now. And we can see here, this is pasta, that's why 500 error. Because I don't have a pasta service. Right? So similarly, you will have a Victoria matrix. See? Okay? So we are successfully able to instrument the eager and Victoria matrix, right? Now let's see quickly to change that to Prometheus tempo and that. It will take 1 more minute maybe. So let me stop the traffic. Then ask it to switch to If you see, I'm just talking it in plain English. That is the difference between a prompt tools. So in the prompt and tools, you have to specifically mention the tool exactly. But in agent skills, you can talk to like a human. So I just asked like, hey, can you apply this demo hotel instrumentation config, right?
But we did mention it in agent skills.
Correct, that's what. So this is a one-time thing. So now, as a seasoned engineer, you know how to do. You can just bundle this skill and share it with others, right? So that's the
It will be a
beauty.
readme file for junior, right?
Sorry?
It will be a readme file for junior.
No, it is not a README file exactly. It is more than a README file. It looks like a README file because it is a markup document, but it is not a README file. Because in README file, you just say the plain English, right? Here, what you will say, there is a structure for agent skills markup document, where you have to have a description, where you have to have a structured resources or a references, samples, so that that samples and information is keyed into the LLM which is running, so that that gets the intelligence to run it again. One second. Sorry? Which one? So skills.md is what we create. What we create. So like a shell script, like any other thing, we have to create the skills.md. But there are lots of skills which are available in the skills.sh is one site where you can see, but it might not be tailor-made to you. So I just created this as a custom. One second, maybe it is. One second, I think my quota is exhausted. One second. I'll use the free version and see if it will work, because we don't need any LLM power here because it's already there in the script. If you see the output of that, it will also give a human readable output. It is already saying I have switched the OTel backend collectors to Tempo, Prometheus, and Loki, right? If you, yeah, you see that? It just activated a new backends now. So let's just run a sample load, same load, and hopefully
We
it.
haven't instructed it to switch.
I did, right? So what was the command I gave? Hey, can you apply the demo hotel configuration instrumentation? So in my skill, there are two things: initial hotel configuration, demo hotel configuration.
It would have been named differently.
Yeah, because it's for its demo, so I used a demo. Yeah, you can use anything, so it's right. Okay, again we are running the load. So this time we should see that in other tools, right? We'll see it should stop here. It stopped here, so no data here, right? And here also we should not see any data. No data here, right? So we'll switch to the other data sources now. So we'll go to the Loki, okay? And last 5 minutes, you see that? They're already coming. So 12:40 just now, right? So we earlier no log collector log backend was not there. In the demo config, what we did is 3 logs, metrics, and traces. Loki is coming. Quickly go to tempo and see if that. See, this is 12:40 again now, right? And everything is working, right? Because I said chicken, veg, and mutton was there, so it's 200 response. We'll see one Prometheus thing also, and that makes us happy. Yeah, it's coming. Okay. That was demo, and I'll just quickly wrap up, right? So we have seen that, right? So whatever the traces, we are able to see what was the order service, failure, success, why it was failure, success, right? Then I also written a removal also, right? So if we can do an addition and switch, we can also do removal. That's a simple brainer. Now, what we did was we elevated the OpenTelemetry's configuration using the Agentic AI, right? So as I said, OpenTelemetry is compatible with many of the open source tools along with other commercial monitoring instrumentations also. So what we have done here, if you see, in a general thing, if you have to apply this OTel, now you have to be Kubernetes proficient. You should know how the OTel works. You should also know how to instrument from the collectors to the backend. But all of that is taken care by one skill.md. And for us, it is only plain English talking to someone, hey, can you instrument this? That's what we ask, right? What we have done end of the day, we just use the CNCF ecosystem of tools and we applied AI to enhance that. So that was my demo. Thank you.